Alright, we are back with, hello Charlotte, I almost said. We are back with Our Life, and we're almost done with, Derek's, step 2, so we hopefully get to move on to step 3 today, which I want, because I want to see the character customization for it. Alright, hold on. There you go. Alright, I'm tabbed in, we're all good to go. Alright. But yeah, let me know if there are any sound issues and I can try and fix it. Derek leisurely retraced the familiar path you had gone on with him, matching step for step. Oh, was this the one where we had taken the bus to go see my sister because I left her alone on Father's Day? It was peaceful, and with how close you'd been to dozing off, it almost felt like walking through a dream. Finally, you arrived at the Suarez condo after a long, eventful afternoon away. You may not have lived there, but seeing that door made you feel welcomed and safe. Yeah, for those that don't know, Our Life is a VN where you get to shape how your life goes out with your choices. Characters remember the things that you say, stuff like that. For example, everyone in this game thinks I'm a vegetarian, even though I'm not. And yeah, you can romance, like, I think 3 boys in this game. And you go through various stages of your life from being a child to a teen to an adult. Right now we're in, like, I think we're like 13 or 14 right now. Anyway. Derek clicked his key into the slot and pulled the handle forward. All traces of sleepiness that had lingered in your eyes were instantly wiped away. Derek unavoidably tripped the wire on a mini explosion. Nicholas, stop looking crazy. The condo wasn't nearly as empty as it was when you'd left. The whole rest of the family had arrived before you. Like, this eye looks like it's smaller than this eye, even though I think it's just like the positioning of the eyes. So it makes it look like he's got like crazy eyes. They were gathered together on the couch and bar stools except for Nicholas, who had jumped to his feet to launch himself at his brother. His short arms circled around Derek's legs. It was an interaction that had happened dozens, maybe even hundreds of times before. That was a hallmark of their own unique sibling relationship. Derek fulfilled his part of the tradition and stroked Nicholas's hair. At the same time, he offered the rest of his family a laid-back greeting. Hey. It looks yandere and uncanny. It does! Good evening to you both. Hi.
Welcome.
Welcome back. There was a knowing lilt to her tone and a crook in her smile. Oh, am I gonna get in trouble? Did you have a good trip? Clutched securely between her fingers was a piece of paper. You didn't have to think too hard to guess what it was. The note you'd left explaining what happened. Well, it's a good thing I told him to leave that letter for his mom. Because then we would have been, like, double grounded.
What a day.
Yes, what a day. It's best you were able to spend time with your family. His parents are both perfectly contented. You had their full support for going on an adventure. I don't think the Suarez could scold you. True, but they could have definitely scolded what? Derek? Derek. They could have scolded Derek. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. It was good. Derek gratefully replied to his parents, all the while sneaking a warm gaze at you. Thanks for not grounding Derek. Okay, I'm sorry, Derek. I do want to say that. But I think I'm more concerned about me getting grounded. I don't want to get grounded. If my parents found out, I would get grounded. That's a good question. Did your moms forbid you from using the bus without supervision? Derek normally can't go that far, but I'll allow it this time. It's a holiday. I don't know. That's not something we really had to talk about. Most things are walking distance in my town.
Don't worry about that.
Then I'll leave it to you and yours to work it out. Yeah, I'm not getting grounded. I'm not gonna even tell my parents that I that I left. Nicholas simply held tight to Derek's jeans the entire time, happy he was there and totally unaware of what the older people were talking about. George stood in between his parents with his arms pressed to his sides. He'd been listening with amusement, his thin eyebrows pinched and his lips pursed.
Now what?
Mrs. Suarez snickered cheekily, resting her actual cheek against Mr. Suarez.
I hate to say it.
Well, I'm sorry to say, you better turn right around and go back the way you came. It's time to bring Bunny home, but don't worry, I'll drive. Yeah, I would like to hope that you would drive. Oh, I do not want to see Miss Suarez angry. Someone would have hell to pay if that happened. She'd be hitting you with the chancla. Why can't I say that word right? You know what I mean. I can't say words right. Oh yeah. With a wink and a grin, Derek scratched the back of his head. He chuckled right along with his mom. You had a great time staying with the Suarez family, but we're very much looking forward to seeing your moms and being reunited with your own sibling after a humorously short time apart. There'd be plenty more moments of fun and laughter to come when you were... Yeah, I have this feeling like Mrs. Suarez is like the nicest lady in the world. Unless you get her ticked off. Then she is a force to be unleashed. I can see it in her eyes. She can be terrifying if you push her buttons in a certain way. For better or for worse, Derek had made sure this was an occasion worth commemorating. Alright, nice! We're going to the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Bum, 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 dun, 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 dun. Okay, yeah, I think we are gonna finish step 2 today. I was a bit worried that that step that we were just on was gonna take a while, but that was short. It was early morning, but the day was already buzzing with excitement. Your whole family was gathered together with all 5 Suarezes in their comfy living room. Today, you were making a trip out on a boardwalk set park. It was a regular enough outing for Derek's family, but it would be your first time going. Yeah, this game already established itself as being in California. They're going to the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. I know you. The boardwalk was a few hours away, and it was even further when setting out from Sunset Bird. That's why the adults decided on the meetup here at the Suarez's apartment instead of gathering at the boardwalk itself. It gave your moms a little break from driving, and everyone got their last chance to run for the bathroom. You would be leaving very soon. To be fair, we were like trying to finish with Derek's stuff last stream. Oh yeah! Just didn't have enough time. While you waited for the trip to officially start, you sat on the couch with your hands in your lap. For a few minutes now, you tried to keep track of what the group gathered around the kitchen counter were to. Elizabeth, your moms, and Mrs. Suarez were all busily making preparations from what you could tell. Meanwhile, Mr. Suarez had his hands full rounding up his 2 youngest kids. It seemed that they were taking an anti-shoe stance this morning, and in Nicholas's case, he needed to be talked into wearing a shirt too. On the cushion next to you, Derek was pumped for what the boardwalk had to offer. He was rambling a mile a minute about all the fun stuff he couldn't wait to show you. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I've only been to the beach boardwalk like a couple of times in my life. Bouncing your leg, you struggled to contain your energy. You're just as eager to experience everything he described. This journey was also the first time you and Derek's families were doing a big activity together. You couldn't believe it originally when the adults went through with organizing the trip.
Let's go.
Kids, come join us in the kitchen. It's time to pack your treat bags. Wait, I get treat bags? Do I get candy?
Cool.
Can I have some Reese's? I want some Reese's. Sliding off the couch, you didn't have the faintest idea what Mrs. Suarez meant, but you were summoned and so you followed Derek's lead. This better be candy. This better not just be called a treat bag, I swear to God. He turned to say something over his shoulder. He'd guessed that line might have been confusing to a newcomer. It must be like our snacks while we're on the beach boardwalk, right? The snack bags are what we do for larger trips. Yeah! Me and my brothers and you and Elizabeth too. We get to fill a little plastic baggie with any sweets and stuff we want. Oh, I am packing that shit. Not a single empty space is gonna be left. It's supposed to be for eating during the hours-long drive, but no one really cares when we snack. It's just so we have something if we need it. Lucky, that's the coolest idea.
Same.
I think so too. It's great to have on hand. I know my mom used to have this cooler bag with sandwiches and stuff that she would put in so that they'd stay nice and cold. As you reach the kitchen, Elizabeth breezed past you with your mom's following at a more relaxed pace. Derek raised a skeptical brow and pointed in her direction with his thumb. Doesn't she want a bag? Elizabeth, do you want to starve? Do you want to die? What's keeping you? Elizabeth stopped and spun around on her heel. Surprised, Derek pulled his hand back on his side. Elizabeth's lips curled into an all-too-pleased smirk.
So what?
You heard Mr. Suarez, or Mrs. Suarez. She called for the kids to come. Bruh, you are 16 years old, Elizabeth. You are still a kid. It's always the kids that are like, I'm not a kid, that are the most like a kid. Ma shook her head at Elizabeth's taunting display. Your sister stepped forward and held up a zip bag that you hadn't noticed before. I was just like you, Elizabeth. I would wear leather and black, and I would put on goth makeup and shit, and I'd be like, I'm a grown-up, I'm not a kid. But anyone that would look at me would be like, oh, you are a child. That is the most child thing to do. Adults don't say that they're not a kid. Unless, they're asking for your ID and you're like, I'm an adult, and they don't believe you. These damn conformists can't stand my fashion. I already got mine when we were getting things set up for the rest of you. Her baggie was full of dried fruits and chocolate chips. She teasingly dangled it in your face, and then in Derek's, oh, that sounds good. Like some dried bananas and chocolate chips. Some strawberries and kiwis. Uh-huh, very mature, Elizabeth. You're not one of the kids at all, see? See what I mean? I'm gonna stick out my tongue, like the child that I am. At least I recognize I am. Get wrecked, Lizzie. Elizabeth snatched her bag of treats out of possible licking range and held it safely to her chest. Wiggling the tip of your tongue, you and Ma both started giggling at the whole exchange. Oh, I'm gonna get you chocolate chips. Yeah, compared to that, I'm basically 30. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. I'm closer to 30, Elizabeth. I'd even say I am 30. After that, she left the kitchen and plopped down in your old spot on the couch. Your mom's joined her, putting Elizabeth in the middle. Ma comfortingly patted Elizabeth's leg. Poor girl. Who's my little Lizzie? Glancing back towards the kitchen, George and Nicholas were finally dressed as they dashed ahead of you. They excitedly crowded around their mom's legs. Now, don't forget that the bag actually has to be able to close for it to count. She began passing out baggies to her two youngest, and then Mrs. Suarez turned to you and winked. That's my only rule for the treat bags, but other than that, feel free to go crazy. Nicholas and George took that as their cue to rush up to the counter, lined with tasty options, and started stuffing their bags. Mrs. Suarez handed you and Derek your own plastic baggies. Now that it was in your hand, you realized that it was the smallest zip bag size. There's no way that you were gonna get a little bit of everything. Okay, so I gotta be careful on what I choose then, right? From my experience, you can fit about 4 handfuls of stuff before it starts getting too tough to close. I mean, I could just keep some in my hands and eat them. Answered before I could even ask. Thanks, mind reader. The younger boys swiftly finished selecting their road trip treats. George's bags closed easily, while Nicholas's was proving a challenge to squeeze shut. The plastic was ballooned out on the sides, entirely full of cookies and candy. Yeah, Mr. Sugar High over here. His brow pinched as he struggled with the zip. To everyone's surprise, Nicholas got it to seal, and he proudly held the bag up for his mom's inspection. Impressed, she nodded. Don't forget to take a water bottle, too. You don't want to lose anyone to dehydration today. Oh yeah, hydration check! The two boys held their prizes tightly and grabbed the water bottles off the edge of the counter on their way out of the kitchen. It was your turn now at the buffet, and the spread was delicious. Now, where did I put my water bottle? Oh, there it is. Thank you for the hydrate. Hydration check. Y'all that are watching better be hydrating, or I'm gonna get you. I'll hydrate with your dry ass blood because you didn't hydrate. Okay, let's see. I can only bring 4 of these with me. Let's see, fruit gummy, dried mangoes, peanuts, dried apples, almonds, dried cranberries, walnuts, cereal, plain crackers, granola, sunflower seeds, chocolate chips, and shortbread cookies. Oh, this is hard. I don't know what to choose. I'd probably choose like a granola for 1. Sunflower seeds, mango, almonds, and apples. Easy choice. Yeah, I was thinking sunflower seeds too. I'm not a big fan of like plain crackers. I think I'd go with sandwich cookies. Wait, sandwich cookies? Like ice cream sandwich cookies? Or is that a term for something else? Dried apples. And oh, the ones like Oreos. Okay. I bought granola, sunflower, and dried apples. So might as well bring something. Sandwich cookies or shortbread cookies? I think I like shortbread cookies more if they have fudge in them. Like the Elmer fudge. Oh, fruit gummy too. Ooh. You bring up a hard bargain there, dwarf. Yeah, fruit gummy or Elmer fudge? I'm gonna go with fruit gummy. Enjoy! Humming happily, you ran your hands across the side of the plastic baggie. You were grateful for your haul, and you proudly showed it to Derek. He gave you a thumbs up.
I gotcha.
Variety is the spice of life. He closed his bag and you realized that it was completely full of a bunch of different things too. Chuckling, you gently poked the straining side of his plastic baggie. Yep, it is. I'm gonna have my fruit gummy. Derek leaned across the counter for the water bottles. He slid one over for you to take and grabbed one for himself too. Okay, I'll close up the packs then. We can leave this out here for now.
Is that fine?
We don't have any more time to lose. Are we all ready? Several voices called back, answering yes. Mrs. Suarez raised an eyebrow and walked out of the kitchen. No one needs to go potty? Looks at Nicholas. No.
No.
I don't have to go potty.
Good.
Anyone have questions before we go? I can't get over Nicholas's expressions. Nicholas has the best expressions in this entire game. She put her hands on her hips and glanced around the apartment. Mr. Suarez raised his hand just as he caught her eye. I'd like to know how we will arrange the rides. There's room for 5 in the back of our car and room for 3 in the Lappy car.
What do you think?
There's room to switch who is bringing who if there's a want for it. Yeah, I think me in the car with my family, with Derek, and my sister maybe. For real, he looks like a real future menace. He's gonna take over the world. I'm excited to see what these characters look like when they're a bit older.
Oh,
I'm glad you brought that up. Like, is he gonna stay being a menace or does he mature? Elizabeth and Bunny are welcome to ride with us, or Derek can feel free to go with Pamela and Nolani. Nicholas and George are staying in our van though. Wait, Pamela and Oh, that's my mom's. Frustrated, both smaller boys pouted at their exclusion. George's jaw clenched as he crossed his arms. Yeah, sorry Nicholas, I'm gonna take your brother away. I'm not a baby. Why do I have to stay in the van? I'm not a baby. You are the youngest one here, Nicholas. You ain't fooling no one. Nicholas, you know you still need a booster seat. We can't put that in their car. Mr. Suarez chuckled at Nicholas's angry grumbling as he passed by into the kitchen, aiming to pick at the remaining snacks. Mrs. Suarez sighed in a tickled but still a long-suffering way. Dad and I need you there to stay awake for such a long drive. Can you two please keep us company on the car ride? Releasing a deep breath, George nodded. He knew this wasn't the day his mom was gonna relent. Nicholas, on the other hand, continued to pout. Okay, Mom. Well, what do you think, Lonnie?
That's fine.
Either way is fine with me. It's up to the kids to decide which they prefer. I'll stick with Mom's. Okay, then I'm gonna go in our mom's car, cause I like Nicholas, but if this was real life, I probably could only stand to be with him for like a couple hours and not an hour-long drive with like nothing to get away from him. She then curiously shifted her attention to you, the corner of her mouth pulled into a smirk because she knew that you and your friends were the ones the whole decision was for. Derek leaned in close to you, cupping a hand to the side of his mouth so only you could hear him. Bunny, what are you thinking? Derek should ride with us, well if he's alright with that. Your mom's reassuring nods gave you the confidence to find out what Derek thought about your bold statement. His skin seemed a shade pinker, but he scratched the back of his neck and beamed, I'm sorry, Derek. I don't want you to be with me because of romantic feelings or anything. We're just besties, okay? Yeah, that'd be awesome. His delight faltered as Nicholas darted across the room to him. He silently stared with big, sad eyes. The what are you thinking about should be a berating answer.
It's okay.
Sorry, Nico. We'll be back together at the boardwalk real soon. I promise. Nicholas is gonna be crying the whole ride there. I'm predicting it right now. Promise? Derek patted the top of his brother's head and the boy sighed. I almost called him the door. There was still a sourness clinging to his expression, but he didn't seem as defeated anymore. The birth of a villain.
Let's go.
Okay, now that we're settled, we'll see you up there. Oh, hold on. One last thing. Mrs. Suarez went over to your mom's and quickly went into some last-minute advice on the directions. While you waited, you noticed out of the corner of your eye that Mr. Suarez had moved on from nibbling at the snacks. Instead, you caught him passing George and Nicholas an extra cookie each. Genuine cheer came back to both of their expressions. They were so thrilled about the secret cookies that Nicholas's bitterness over the car ride and George's frustrations over being babied were both sweetened out. Cookies solve everything with children, I swear. With that, snacks and drinks were set, no one needed to go potty, the rides were arranged, directions were obtained, and it was finally time to get the trip started. The two families left the condo behind, chattering with eagerness for the day's activities. At the parking lot, the group split up to get into their different cars. This is gonna be fun. Elizabeth automatically went to claim her usual seat, but you stopped her. She pouted but climbed back out and impatiently tapped her foot on the ground.
What?
Did you forget we have company? On autopilot, Ma slid behind the steering wheel with ease, and Mom hopped into the front seat. It wasn't until they were buckled in that they both realized the back seat was oddly still empty. Yeah, where's Derek? What's the holdup? You have to decide the seats. Oh. I should probably be in the middle, right?
No worries.
Don't worry about that. The middle's calling your name. Okay, I'm the third wheel anyways. I thought I wanted to give you the window, so I thought I would take the middle seat. Chewing at your bottom lip, there wasn't any more time left to lose, so you didn't try to argue with him. Elizabeth happily climbed into the car and took her usual spot. This worked out perfectly. Derek settled into his chosen spot and sat up perfectly straight. You climbed in after him, apprehensive that you and your sister ended up in your usual places at opposite sides of the car. Oh, appreciative. Damn, I really don't like my sister. Are we all ready now? We're buckled. Roger that. We'll have you all free and having fun in no time. So that's why she wanted Derek to be in the middle. She didn't want to sit next to me. What the fuck? What the fuck? You don't want to sit next to your own brother? What the hell? Like, okay, I know we've had some hard times, Elizabeth. I've swapped your shampoo out for glue before. I've dunked your head into cake. I insulted you many times. And I tried to steal the boy that had a crush on you away once upon a time. But we're still family. We're still family. Doesn't that mean anything? Damn, Lizzie, we have tried everything to be nice with you. Yeah, what the fuck? I am the nicest brother you could ever have on this planet. How dare you? Thanks for letting me join for the ride.
Oh.
That's no trouble at all. We love to have you as a guest. The second Ma was done pulling the car out, a wide grin hooked her lips. Excitedly, she shimmied her shoulders as she drove. I read about our destination recently, and it sounded just lovely. I'm so happy we're doing this today. We're going to the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk! That's an understatement if I've ever heard one. Lonnie studied up on this place like it was her job. Even though fucking Shiloh rejected the fuck out of us, we tried to take him as morally as possible. Yeah! I was a very respectable brother even when I was stealing the person that had a crush on her. Mom teasingly twisted to deliver that last part to the three of you in the back directly. Giggling, Ma shrugged. Can you blame me? I don't want to miss anything.
I get it.
I understand that. There's just so much stuff to see and do. It's all packed into that one place. That's impressive. It'll be a good day then. Well, I don't want any spoilers. I want to see what's there when we get there. Oh my god, Beach Boardwalk spoilers. Oh no. She's gonna know that they have a Ferris wheel. Ah!
There.
Alright, Elizabeth, I won't say a thing. Does anyone want music? Yeah, can we play Radio Disney? Depends on whose turn it is to pick. It's mine, actually. It's my turn. How about we let Derek have a turn? Derek, you have a crush on me, right? Let's listen to Radio Disney. I need to see when they're sending my Hannah Montana karaoke machine. Oh, that's nice of you, Miss Lappy. Elizabeth gasped in surprise, and Derek awkwardly fiddled with his fingers in his lap. She childishly stuck her tongue out, but he wasn't bothered by her antics at all. It's been like 15 years. They sure are taking their sweet time delivering my Hannah Montana karaoke machine. Derek shrugged it off and thought hard about how he should answer. Wasn't gonna squander this opportunity. After a few moments of consideration, Derek snuck a glance in your direction. You tilted your head to the side, silently asking him what he was thinking. Top 40s? Okay. She turned the radio on and clicked around until she found a station that played pop-style music. He nodded, approving of his choice. I mean, it's not Radio Disney or anything, but it's fine. This motherfucker making us listen to normie music. Get out the aux cord. Get out the aux cord. If we can't listen to Radio Disney. Yeah, I want Hannah Montana. Where's my best of both worlds? Chilling out, take it slow. Then you walk out the show, Derek. Yeah, take out the aux cord. Let me connect the Bluetooth. Let me connect my iPhone to the Bluetooth so I can play like Vocaloid music instead. Fucking god, this normie. See, this is why we're not dating, Derek. This is why I don't like you, Derek. You're a normie. I feel like you'll become like a fuckboy athlete later in your life. Not into that. Quietly chuckling to herself, Elizabeth smirked at everything working out for her. She settled in for a pleasant ride. This better have Lady Gaga on it, I swear to God. Elizabeth then pulled out her baggie of snacks and popped a few cranberries into her mouth. She grabbed another handful to nibble at while you thought about your own baggie. I'll have some snacks too. I might be hungry. All it took was one look and your stomach felt envious. You pulled your zip baggie out and decided to treat yourself to a handful too. Notice that Derek didn't touch his zip bag of snacks at all. He continued to twiddle his fingers and sit quietly. The rest of the ride went by with comfortable conversation rolling between the group of you. And all the while, the music played on. I remember like one of my fondest memories of driving in a car was to my graduation. One of my friends drove me to the graduation, and like she had a car and stuff because she was like 1 year older than me, and her family let her have a car. And we were driving to like my school for the graduation, and we started singing like the Pokemon theme at the top of our lungs with the music just blasting through. And like they had like one of those sunriser cars or whatever you call them, to where like the top of it comes off, and so we were just like passing by just going I want to be the very best. It was so fun. It's like the funnest thing when you like sing songs with your friends just like at the toppest of your lungs without caring what people think. I hardly ever do that because I get really self-conscious, but I do enjoy that. I went with my friends singing DBZ themes all the way to prom. Oh my god. Me and Song, when we went to the train station and we're in her car, we were listening to Niji Sanchi songs. And we like singed along to a bit of them, like in his cover of Goddish. Both families pulled into the parking lot and the kids excitedly bounced out of the cars. The parents cheerfully waved at each other as the groups closed the distance between them.
Derek!
Next to you, Derek braced for the impact as his younger brother bolted straight ahead, aiming right for him, over the moon to be reunited. Nicholas tightly wrapped himself around his big brother. Hey, I missed you too. Missed you! Derek managed to untangle his sibling's limbs enough so he could bend down and give Nicholas a hug. The 6-year-old eventually released his legs in full, so they could walk hand in hand back to the family. With everyone regrouped, the family strolled onto the boardwalk. Your eyes widened. The place was even more amazing than you'd imagine. I'm curious, what do you guys think? I mean, don't say it if you're familiar with our life or anything, because spoilers. But do you think Nicholas will still be as, like, attached to Derek as he is now, like, in the next step? Or do you think he'll be going through his rebellious gremlin phase, saying, I don't like you, Derek? It was like you stepped into a bright world of color. There were shops displaying various beach towels and boogie boards decorated with either popular cartoon characters or tropical flowers. Yeah, this is the fucking Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. You can't fool me, game. I know where this is. I know exactly where this is. I see the Ferris wheels in the back. I see that shit. Probably not. Gremlin, of course. Yeah, I think he's gonna be in his rebellious phase in step 3. Clothing stalls and racks of sundresses, cover-ups, and swimwear in every pattern imaginable. Ahead, you can make out the colorful tufts of stuffed animals from the prize boards. Darts, ring toss, skee-ball, and more waited further down the boardwalk. Music filled the air, but when you listen closely, you can make out so much more. There are various cheers and shouts of victory, joy, and fear. Ooh, excuse me. The screams had to be coming from the massive wooden roller coaster that towered beyond the stalls. From what you could tell already, this boardwalk was easily 5 times the scale of the entire shopping street in Sunset Bird. I think I'm in good spirits. I'd be a little self-conscious. About being here with that many people because how I am. But I think I'd enjoy it. Humming happily along to the tunes, you made sure not to lose track of your group as you moved through the crowd. Now that you're seeing it for yourself, you finally understood the intensity behind Derek's descriptions. Yo, black hair looks slick! Oh, looks sick, hell yeah! Welcome, Naruto! Yeah, this is my Charles color palette from Hello Charlotte. I really do like it. It's one of my favorite color palettes I have for this model. I know you can't see like my necktie or anything very well usually, but I like the combinations, how it makes it kind of look like a caution sign or like a railroad crossing or something. Now that you are seeing it for yourself, you finally understood the intensity behind Derek's descriptions. The group began navigating down the wooden boards, Mrs. Suarez hastily grabbing onto Nicholas's arm for safekeeping and just in time too. You better get like that one child management device, like the little vest with the. You guys see those for kids where it's almost like a dog vest? Sets a single tear. I want to take Lynn to an amusement park. Full homo. I believe in you. I'm sure you will someday, Jackie. The bustling mood of the area had Nicholas raring to go. He wanted to see, play, and explore every inch. Oh, I thought it was an emo phase, my bad. No, if it was emo phase, hold on. You want to see emo phase me? Give me 1 second. I will make this emo phase. This is emo phase. This is emo phase. I'll make this emo phase. That's enough chicken for today. Shinny mode? How's that emo phase? So edgy. Press the 3. I know. Oi, funny. How's that funny? I don't see nothing funny about this. Unfortunately, the 4 parents were just not as energetic as the hyper 6-year-old. Yeah, he'd be hyped up on those cookies. You put a gun in the orangutan enclosure. Why? Funny. Do not put the gun in the orangutan enclosure! What is wrong with you? With an affectionate shake of her head, Mrs. Suarez struggled to hold on to Nicholas's tiny hand as he attempted to sprint ahead. Irene, why not let the children go?
What?
Will that be fine?
This child here, and the rest of them, I'm sure they'd rather enjoy the park on their own and at their own pace, and be safe with each other. I don't know. Being at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk is a bit more concerning to split up than like in our hometown. She carefully weighed the scenarios in her mind while Nicholas was too busy trying to forcibly move her forward to notice the important conversation happening. Your mom shared a glance. Bro, is it bad that I want to be that boy's stepdad? Are your dad instincts kicking in? See Nicholas, Naruto? Or do you want to marry the dad? Are you attracted to Mr. Suarez? He is pretty cute. I'd be alright with that as long as nobody left the boardwalk. It's large, but not too large.
Alright.
Oh wait, or are you attracted to the mom? The mom's also really nice looking. Kids are getting older and they've earned a little freedom from our all-seeing eyes. Okay, adults and kids get to have their own day at the boardwalk. You caught both Elizabeth and Derek perking up. This is clearly a sign of a perfect day ahead for the two. I don't know. I mean, we got Nicholas with us. I worry about him running off. I think we need a mom with like one of those restraint vests on him to make sure he doesn't get kidnapped like Rontaro's sisters. And then Mrs. Suarez passed Nicholas off to her husband for a moment. She motioned for the older kids to circle closer to her. The mother is bad, my god. The mom's your type? Yeah, she's really cute. I love her figure. The dad's fine too. Yeah, they're both cute. They have like a cute family.
No more.
No more treats for Nicholas. He's had enough candy and cookies for the day. I'm counting on you to keep to that. Mr. Suarez over there can't be trusted. Nice scarf. Oh, thank you, Maggie.
Oops.
A very nice scarf, 42. Don't you call me 42! He stood up straighter and looked away from his wife, pretending that he had no idea what she was talking about. Her knowing smile cracked into a light-hearted laugh. Cozy looking. He admired the way her eyes sparkled, teasing her husband. She moved her attention back to the rest of you, and both George and Elizabeth gave her confident nods.
I'm on it.
We've got this, Mom. Derek answered with an added thumbs up. Mrs. Suarez proudly beamed, letting her gaze go between the boys. No need to worry, you can count on us. Oh, speaking of getting things, I have some money on hand for me and my brothers. Will you and Elizabeth be able to buy ride tickets and knickknacks or any of that sort of stuff? I better be. We're at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. My parents better be giving me some money. They expect me to get my income at this age? I doubt the pocket change I have is going to be enough for anything. I've got a nickel. You took around in your pocket until you found it. Holding it up, Elizabeth hid her face in her hands before revealing the grin she cracked. Probably been 3 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna take it off then. Good for you.
Don't worry about it.
We were gonna spend money on you two today anyways. There's no harm if we let you have it. Besides, we don't get to go on trips like this every day. Go a little wild. Exactly. We want you to be able to do things here. I remember when I went on one trip once for the Sakura festival, my mom gave me like $150 to spend there, and I spent like 100 something on getting just a yukata, and then I spent the rest of it on food. Oh, actually this. Here you go. Banoi. Banoi. We got the floppy ears back. Now you look like a very cool butler. I am simply one hell of a butler. Mom dug into her purse and then she pulled out a handful of bills. She carefully counted out $15 and handed it to Elizabeth. Only 15? What's that gonna get us in this economy? Your sister was unimpressed at that amount and recounted the bills herself. Mom handed you your own $15 next, and you quietly chuckled to yourself. Couldn't help but think about how it probably would have been a 20 if Mr. Holden was there. Yeah, we should have brought Cove with us. Cove would have paid for everything. Thanks. I'll use this wisely.
Thanks.
Thanks, Moms. I can get one thing at the beach boardwalk. Wahey!
All right.
We're all set then. We'll meet again here at 8 p.m. in front of the first stall. Mrs. Suarez took her youngest's arm and crouched down to his level. She brushed some stray hairs out of his face. Amusement parks are not cheap, even back then. SMH! Yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck? This is... I don't even know if I can buy ride passes with this much money. Go and stay with your brothers today. Be good for them. Aren't the wristbands usually like $30? This can only pay like half of that. We can buy like one pass, and we'd have to share the pass with each other. With an eager nod, Nicholas bolted over to Derek and clung onto his jeans. Yeah, how much money did your parents give you, Derek? I bet you they gave you $50. Derek laughed at the sudden weight and put his hands firmly on the younger boy's shoulders, just in case he decided to run off. Like, I can only imagine how much money the trip it takes here is, and you're only giving me 15? What's the point of coming? I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm getting so miffed at this. The two sets of parents disappeared in the crowd, moving towards the nearby stores. My one time at that place and I got lost in a haunted house. Aww. Standing on your tiptoes, you caught your moms waving goodbye one last time before they were completely out of sight. Elizabeth spun in a circle, spotting all the things she might want to try. She must have deemed the boardwalk to be cool because she was cheerier by the second. Eventually, her gaze returned to you and the Suarez brothers. It was clear that her daydreams crashed back to reality. Back to reality, yup, there goes gravity. Next to her, George walked up onto his tiptoes and then sat back down. Catching your eye, he stopped and nervously inched a little bit closer to Derek. It must feel awkward for a little kid to have two new additions to what was usually a special family affair. You offered him a smile, but tried not to stare at him. You were so eager to get going already. The clock was ticking, and you didn't want to miss a single activity. Derek awkwardly took a couple large steps forward. The starts were wobbly as Nicholas held onto him tighter, but Derek was ultimately unfazed.
Okay.
We should start the day right. The face painting stall is up here near the front. I ain't gonna waste my $15 on a face paint.
Yeah.
I wanna go on a friggin' Ferris wheel or something. Go in a haunted house. Face painting! I do like face painting though. I remember I would get my face painted to have like kites, like tattoos on his cheeks. When I was a kid, I would be like, yeah, can you do like 2 red triangles on my cheeks like this? I would draw it. Yeah, let's go.
So immature.
Face painting? Are you serious? Oh, come on, Elizabeth. What's wrong with a little face painting? You scared? You ticklish? Does the touch of a paintbrush on your cheek make you quiver in fear? Nicholas was too absorbed with thoughts of paint to notice her attitude, but George's joy vanished instantly. Come on, Elizabeth. Come on, Elizabeth, don't be a wet blanket. We're gonna get face paints, okay? Even though I was just complaining about the face paints too, but listen. You could pinpoint the exact second Elizabeth remembered how much younger Derek's siblings were. Elizabeth uncrossed her arms, feeling a bit rotten. She cleared her throat and begrudgingly tried to pull back on her visible distaste. I don't need one. However, of course, we can go over to that stall. Anyone who wants to do it should. That's great. Honestly, there's lots of time to do lots of things, so it's not a big deal if sometimes it isn't what you want to do, right? Right? His green stare hardened. He directed the statement at both the youngest and the oldest member in the crew. Elizabeth snorted, displeased that a kid like Derek was acting like he was in charge. Well, maybe if you weren't such a kid yourself, Elizabeth, maybe Derek wouldn't have to be the mature one of the group. I think the fact that Derek is like the older brother of like a bigger family makes him a bit more mature than Elizabeth. But Derek wasn't in his respectful guest mode, which is what Elizabeth usually saw of him in the neighborhood. Yeah, he's in big bro mode. Derek was entirely in the eldest brother role. He kept a stern stare on her for another moment before shifting to you. Are you alright with letting my brothers get their faces painted? You can too if you wanna. It's actually a lot of fun. Yeah, woo! Face painting! I'm gonna get my kite face paint. Alright, why'd I do that? I accidentally triggered shitty mode. Face painting! Face painting! You threw both fists in the air as you cheered, and all 3 Suarez brothers beamed. Before anyone moved, Derek carefully removed Nicholas's hands from his pants and took a hold of the young boy's hand instead, like his mom had done before. Yeah, better make sure he doesn't run off. Derek cheerfully pointed ahead with his free hand.
Let's go.
Derek led the way for your group. You followed his line of sight to the row of shops and spotted a large, colorful umbrella. As you approached, you noticed 2 open chairs under the shade of that umbrella, one for the artist and the other for the person being painted. Next to it was a canvas posted with a collage of photos. The examples showed off cheeks dotted with daisies, sparkling gold stars shooting over temples. Over temples, my god. On a cheek? Peace signs and a whole rainbow of butterflies. Skulls and spiders were options for kids who wanted to get their face painted and still look tough. Yeah, can I get my kite face paint on, please? Can you do like a custom commission for me? Someone like Cove, you thought to yourself, chuckling. Not, he would not. No. Okay, you understand Cove less than I do, main character that is supposed to be me. Cove would not want skulls or spiders on his face. Cove would want dolphins, or like the ocean waves on his cheeks, or seashells, or like the sun. That's what he'd want. Of course, okay, there we go. Of course, that was only a joke. You were positive Cove would actually get a fish or a shell or a dolphin or something like that. Okay, I guess you do get him. Main character. He picked up the painting tools in the mirror on the wheel counter. Her tag is very considerate while we're a menace. Bunny gets right back. I guess Bunny does know Cove. The artist appeared to be a teen just out of high school or maybe in college. Many of the stalls we passed had younger people running them. The artist eyed our group carefully in return. Hello. Hi, welcome. I'm Xavier. Would you like me to paint your face today?
Definitely.
Yes, please. Xavier went over and plopped down on one of the chairs. Derek nudged George towards the other. Do you want to go first? George hesitated and chewed at his bottom lip. Stop it! But he wasn't sure until he realized that no one else moved to take the open seat. He seized the opportunity and sat down. What can I do for you?
Okay.
I want to YG shoe puff. I want a football, right here. Without missing a beat, George pointed to his forehead. Elizabeth huffed quietly at the conversation, but Xavier gave a serious nod. Come on, Elizabeth, just let him get his football on his forehead. I can do that, no problem. The artist lightly brushed George's bangs aside and began to work. Next to you, Derek's brow furrowed intently as he studied the picture collage of options. You're gonna get like a soccer ball or something, aren't you? I don't think you could possibly think any harder without breaking your brain. What's the problem? But Derek continued to quietly mull things over. He pressed a hand to his chin and sighed. Nicholas will get what I get. I'm not sure what to get because of that. He doesn't like soccer as much as George likes football, so it's probably not the best choice. Oh, I knew you wanted to get soccer. I know you, Derek. I could get a car for obvious reasons, but Nicholas also really loves rainbows, and he does already have cars on his shirt. Do not get a spider. No. I refuse. It's sweet that he loves rainbows. Let him have one. Gay pride and all that. Chuckling, Derek shook his head at your enthusiasm. He raised his hands in surrender.
Alright.
I'll get a rainbow. Hell yeah, let's go. Gay pride. Aww. That football looks so awkward with where they put it. I thought they were gonna put it more like... Okay, I thought it was gonna be like a sideways football and be right here, but it's right between his eyebrows. It looks so weird. George's football didn't take long to finish at all. He got up with a delightful grin and tried to dip his head enough to see the painting without a mirror. He couldn't, but that didn't put a damper on his fun. One of his hands hovered around the football, and he knew that he was fighting the urge to poke at the wet paint. Derek slid onto the customer chair next. Nicholas leaned his hands on the edge of the seat and intensely watched the artist get to work. As the painting took shape, the smile on Nicholas's face grew. He gasped loudly in amazement the second he finally figured it out. Oh, that's so cute. The artist proudly added the finishing touches, but then addressed the youngest Suarez instead. Xavier twirled the paintbrush. Now what do you think? It's awesome! Just what I like to hear. You're good to go then. Gay pride, let's go!
Thanks.
Thank you. Derek Derek took one last glance at himself in the mirror and hopped off the chair, pointed at the open seat with his thumb. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Naruto! Where did I put my water? Oh, right here. Oh man, I really needed that. I don't know how it is for you guys right now, but it is really hot right now. It is so hot in this room. I might need to turn on a fan later. Your turn, Nico. Nicholas clambered onto the chair with a pinched brow. Once he got settled, he sat up tall like a big boy. Hello, what can I do for you today? A rainbow! Here's his crazy yandere eyes again. Xavier's gaze instinctively went back to the piece they just finished on Derek. They immediately put together what was happening. That's a great idea. Let's get started. Nicholas nodded and then put all of his mental energy into holding still. You weren't sure how long the 6-year-old could keep that up before he started to squirm. Don't go with him on the haunted house. Yeah, my room feels like a desert. Yeah, it's so hot today. Ugh. Yeah, Nicholas would get lost in a haunted house. I don't know if he'd be able to handle a haunted house at his age. Well, it was fun to watch Nicholas. You knew that your focus was better spent deciding on what design you were actually getting. You were next, so you gave the canvas another look. You picked on the... alien face, cheek whiskers, and a painted nose. There's no kite option. Where's the kite option? Where's the kite tattoo option? The closest is the cheek whiskers. I don't want that. It's like a cat face. I think I'm gonna go with shooting star. Again, Xavier made quick work painting, and Nicholas was soon jumping out of his chair with a brand new rainbow adorning his cheek. He walked over and took his place in the chair. Sounds like someone I know. Can I get one too? No dot hack option. 2 out of 10 game. Yeah, why can't you let me draw on a piece of paper what I want? I've done that at the festivals near where I live, and they would do it just fine. Of course. Aw, so cute. The three brothers huddled together off on the side, proudly admiring and showing off each other's face paintings. Elizabeth crossed her arms, spotting you in the chair next. Oh, get over it, Elizabeth. I'm having fun, okay? She'd been quietly hanging around the stall, attempting not to be too impatient. You're the last one left to go. You can start when you're ready. Right, you shifted your attention away from your group and instead stared directly into the artist's face. You like their pink hair. Oh, they have pink hair? It was pulled back and tucked under a uniform hat. And from this distance, you realized that their eyes were more purplish than the brown color they looked when farther away. Oh, that sounds so pretty. Where's their sprite? I want to stand them. So, what can I do for you? I want to get a shooting star. Because I'm Starry Bunny Boy. I can work with that. The artist dipped a clean brush into their starting color, and then they reached forward to begin drawing on your cheek. The paint felt cooler than you imagined. Try not to move too much. The bristles lightly tickled as they glided across your skin. Stroke by stroke, Xavier started with the outer lines, and then filled in the center of the drawing. And before you knew it, it was over. You eagerly checked yourself in the mirror on the counter and beamed. Thank you so much. You're welcome. You got up and rejoined the others. There was a delightful pep in your step as you pointed at the final result. Nice choice, hell yeah! I mean, it's no kite face tattoo, but it's something. Now that you and the Suarez brothers were happy with all your face paintings, it was time to discover the next activity. Derek quickly paid for him and his brothers. Well, there goes my 15 bucks. You dug out some of your own money too, and then it was time to go. Have a good day. I guess I get nothing to eat today. I just spent it all on my face paint. I was hoping they were gonna do the face paints for free. Ah! You too, Xavier. Your group gave one final round of thank yous to Xavier before moving on from the stall. The flow of the crowd brought you all drifting down the boardwalk. As you traveled further in, you actually spotted your parents. Suarez boys jumped and waved, and their dad did exactly the same thing across the way. Next to him, Mrs. Suarez tried hiding her ear-to-ear grin with her hands. Your moms had their heads close together, laughing at Mr. Suarez's reaction. I'll jump and wave, why not? I ain't gonna be a cringe kid that is like, oh, I'm too grown up to do this stuff. Embrace my childhood. You can only have one childhood once. You can only be cringe as a child once. So I'm gonna be cringe. Throwing your hands in the air, you wave them like crazy, just like you don't care. Bounce into place. Elizabeth sidestepped away from the group, not wanting to be associated with undignified behavior. Oh my god, Elizabeth, get that stick out of your ass. We're here at the beach boardwalk, Elizabeth. You know, she's probably betting she's gonna meet some like hot boy while she's on the beach boardwalk or something. And they're gonna fall in love like those rom-coms she's probably reading on Wattpad. Yeah, you know, that's just fiction. If like a hot boy saw you IRL and he saw you acting like this with your family, he would probably be like, yo, that's kind of cringe, girl. Ma spotted you right away and pointed Mom in your direction. They joyously waved back to you and Elizabeth. Then your parents continued on with their own adventure. Your group traveled further down the boardwalk. You browsed the long row of shops, pointing out all the interesting things on sale. As the afternoon stretched on, your gang continued to enjoy the boardwalk. Elizabeth took long strides and led the pack, cutting her way through the crowd. Everyone was willing to follow her. The Suarez brothers were giving her some leeway since it was her first time there, and you were used to your older sister's attitude. She was making a beeline to the roller coaster, the singular big kid ride of the boardwalk, and nothing was going to stand in her way out. Oh my god, a roller coaster! How grown up! Oh, you're so mature, girl! And you know what? I ain't gonna rush myself. I'm gonna enjoy my time here with my friends. I'm not gonna be in that much of a rush. This is our vacation. I should enjoy it. Chill out. Elizabeth was fine on her own, and you weren't just here for the rides. You wanted to spend time with your friend. Exactly! Nicholas had stopped holding on to Derek, instead flitting around on his own. Derek continued to keep a sharp eye on him. He occasionally pursed his lips when Nicholas was on the cusp of wandering further away than safety allowed. You watched the little boy as well. His attention wasn't nearly as single-minded as Elizabeth's. He eventually started to lag, unable to keep up with Elizabeth's breakneck pace. Nicholas tottered at the end of the group, slowing his pace, falling behind, then bursting forward to catch back up. It happened on repeat. Why are we making him run? We can like match his stride if he's struggling. His eyelids drooped and his head bobbed forward. There was an expression of vacant determination on his face. Oh, baby. It's a special kind of stubbornness only the youngest people in society could muster. The type where the concept of stopping wasn't just ignored, it flat out didn't exist in their minds. Luckily for Nicholas, he had a more self-aware big brother who would set limits for him. Hey, let's sit down for a second. What? Oh my god, Elizabeth, Chulo! These are children! There's a 6-year-old! He needs to rest! He needs his hydration! It's a long walk, especially if you got small legs. See, Derek is the most mature person of this group. You are not an adult. Elizabeth, so you mean for you? Oh my god, Get your head out of your ass, Elizabeth. You ain't that grown up. You're like 2 years ahead of us. Oh, hold on. Someone's at my door. Let me mute. about that. There was like a car that was parked in front of the house, so my uncle thought that maybe someone got me like a treat stream or something. But I guess it was just someone that parked down for a sec to like get on their phone or something. Anyway, let me grab my phone. So you mean for you? That's right, I do need to take a break. I know my limits, and I know the limits around other people, because I'm a more considerate person than you are, Elizabeth. Derek willingly accepted Elizabeth's shot at his stature. You could guess why pretty easily based on his leading tone. If Derek wanted to rest, Nicholas would want that too. Aww. God, Derek is such a good big brother. Derek scanned the area and pointed out some tables in the distance. Elizabeth glanced at the path ahead once, but didn't argue about changing course. She picked an empty table that looked to be the cleanest of the selection. Everyone took a seat with a marked preference for sitting under the shaded half. You grabbed your water bottle and took a long and refreshing drink. It remained relatively cool on your tongue. You know what? I'm gonna hydrate too. Give me 1 second. Because it is fucking hot. And you know what? I don't care if this is a lewd image people might get in their mind. Give me 1 moment. I don't know if I should say what I just did. Never mind. Never mind. Derek hefted Nicholas up on his lap. His brother wiggled slightly until he found a comfortable position. Let's keep it PG. Yeah, let's keep it PG. Bunny has the right idea. It's water time. Nicholas gave no audible response. His eyes were completely closed. However, he did accept the water Derek placed into his hands. He sipped it sluggishly. Unfortunately, Nicholas tipped the water bottle upwards until it started to spill.
Oops.
Derek snatched the bottle back and chuckled. Nicholas opened his eyes slightly, barely perturbed by getting slashed. He rubbed his wet face on Derek's shirt and stayed resting against his chest. Hold on. I need like a fan or something. I can use like one of my zines as a fan since they're like really small. Okay, yeah. Cause it is hot. My goodness. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a bath after this stream. It's so humid. Anyway. Derek patted his head. You have to admit it was cute. Elizabeth and George drank their water too, side-eyeing the scene but not saying a word. You should drink, Derek. Hydrate or dihydrate. Thanks, I will. He pulled out his bottle with a smile and began to hydrate. George finished his drink with a final chug. He inclined his head towards the two brothers. Nicholas is gonna fall asleep. Elizabeth twisted the cap back on her bottle. She was ready to go. What now? Nicholas let out a small, snuffly nose, a snore. Derek looked down at his clearly sleeping little brother, but it was no issue for Derek. He brushed it off as easily as Elizabeth's insult. Elizabeth, I'm gonna kick your ass, girl. Stop, you're such a child, Elizabeth. It's cool, I'll find her parents and they can look after Nico while he naps. Mom and Dad won't mind taking him along since he's down for the count. probably sitting at one of the restaurants or browsing a store or something. Y'all got like a cell phone or anything to get in contact with your parents or anything? Elizabeth nodded, glad that it wouldn't be her problem. George appeared more hesitant.
Okay.
He peeked at Elizabeth and then back to you. Derek smiled reassuringly and continued to pitch his plan.
Anyway.
Plus, Elizabeth wanted to ride the roller coaster. I would have had to sit back with Nicholas anyway, since he's too short for it. I'd better not. Oh, I just realized something. I better not be too short to get on the fucking roller coaster. I'm gonna lose it if they won't let me go on the roller coaster. It just makes sense for the three of you to do that while I'm dropping off Nicholas. So go get that ride. I'll catch up later. Your choices matter. Your choice to be little. George sighed. He was being left behind thanks to Nicholas, but he placated enough to not argue with his older brother. I want you to go on the roller coaster ride with me too, Derek. We're both short kings. We should all go find your parents together. Splitting up is a bad idea. Yeah. He snuck a glance at Derek before meekly pointing out their instructions. We're supposed to stay together in a group. That's true. Derek scratched his head uncertain. But wouldn't it be lousy for everyone to come? The more the merrier. It'll be easier to find your parents if we work together. He paused again, but ultimately grinned. Yeah, I don't want the two of you to get kidnapped. If we're like a group of like 5 kids, the chances of getting kidnapped are lower. Yeah, you guys are alright. He was relieved that he wasn't gonna run off. Elizabeth, however, sighed in exasperation. Oh, get over yourself, Elizabeth.
Fine.
We'll all go. Elizabeth is taking me off with this. Oh my god. Like, be considerate for the other people in your group, Elizabeth. Sorry we're not all 16 and as grown up as you are. Let's make it quick. Find the parents, leave the kid, and ride the roller coaster in and out. It'll be a team effort. Put on his game face, ready to get the day back on track.
It's on.
We've got a mission. Let's get it done. Operation Find Our Parents is on. Derek winked, full of confidence. We'll see that roller coaster soon. Derek carefully scooped his brother up from his lap and adjusted him into a carrying position. Nicholas wrinkled his nose, but otherwise didn't stir when Derek hopped to his feet. You dealt with your water and stood as well, with Elizabeth and George following shortly behind you. Derek sped down the boardwalk, moving fast but smooth enough not to bother Nicholas. You and the rest of the group had to keep up a good pace to not be left behind. Everyone went down the line of stores and peeked into restaurant windows. You spread out across the row, using your numbers to go through multiple places at a time. Despite dividing and conquering, no one was further than shouting distance, and you all kept an eye on one another. However, even with the effective crisscrossing strategy, there's no sign of the missing parents. You regrouped on one side of the road, a mixture of concern from most and impatience from Elizabeth.
Man.
What now, team? Do they have a lost child station in this place? I could tell them we lost 4 very large toddlers out on the boardwalk. George snickered while Derek grinned goofily. He ended up being the one to shake his head and nix the idea. Kids are taken to the office of the first aid station. We just end up stuck there until our parents came to get us. I doubt that'd be any faster. Fine, then how about we just wake Nicholas up already? Then we wouldn't have to find our parents. No! The brothers harshly whispered in sync, leaning towards Elizabeth with the utmost intensity. Oh, is he like really bad when he just wakes up or something? Nicholas twitched in Derek's arms from the commotion, and both of the boys tensed. Derek froze, grimacing, until Nicholas yawned and shoved his face back into Derek's shirt. He and George sighed, visibly relaxing. Elizabeth raised an eyebrow at their production.
Seriously?
What kind of an older sibling are you? If Nicholas is sleeping, then he needs to sleep. Yeah, you tell him! Get in a fucking fight with Elizabeth! It's not just about being nice. Nicholas won't want to have fun. He'll start crying and yelling. Then we'll have to carry him around while he's grouchy, unless we can manage to get him back to sleep. But why do all that when he's already asleep? Yeah, get her ass, Derek! Fight! 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 Trust me, this is the best case scenario. Well, besides us not being able to find Mom and Dad anywhere because they vanished, but still. Derek breathed through his nose indignantly while George folded his arms tightly against his chest, standing in stern agreement. Yo, like, Elizabeth is being a bitch. Jeez, sorry for not being such an expert big sister. I don't remember Bunny being that much of a pain. Well, I will be a pain, Elizabeth, if you keep being this bitchy. You know what? I'm gonna compliment them. I'm not gonna compliment Elizabeth. I'm not gonna make her feel like she did a good job, because she did a bad job. This is not how you treat, like, guests that you're hanging out with. You gotta be considerate for, like, the entire group, Elizabeth, not just your own interests. I thought you were the adult here, but I guess I was wrong. Oh my god! Oh my god, Mandy! Oh, thank you for the raid, Mandy! How was Genshin? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. We are playing Our Life now, Beginnings and Always, which is a VN where you go through various stages of life and can romance some people or you can keep friendships with them. And right now we're at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, and my sister is being a bitch because she wants to get on the roller coaster. But one of my friends' brothers fell asleep, so we're trying to find his parents, but Elizabeth is raising a big huff about it. And I want my friend to fight with my sister. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good time. Oh, grab some boss materials and then start the new event. Ooh, man, I forgot to do boss mats earlier when I was streaming Genshin. I need to do that later when my resin refills. Mumble, even then I'm like, Elizabeth, why are you insulting the little kid? Yeah, exactly. She keeps saying like she's the oldest one in the group, but she's been so offensive to like this whole group. It's just, oh my god. She waved her arm forward limply. Come on then. The group followed her lead and continued the search, unable to think of any better ideas. We all scoured the boardwalk, all 4 pairs of eyes looking intently. The sky turned golden as the sun began to disappear under the horizon. You glanced out to the sea, and it looked as if the ocean was swallowing the day. Or did the big Pokemon swallow the sun? Lights began to click on, and the already shining buildings of the boardwalk were set aglow. You took a moment to observe the sunset. It was nice to take a breath and ignore the noisy backdrop. It was then that you finally got an answer to your mystery. No wonder you hadn't noticed before. Derek, look! You pointed your finger straight at your realization. Derek jumped at your outburst and followed your command. He squinted into the distance before he dropped his jaw. As soon as he understood, he blurted out his shock. Wait, have we not found our parents yet? Have we been walking around this whole time? Oh god, Elizabeth's gonna be pissed if so. They rented bikes? Oh my god, it really is Pokemon. Across the way, pedaling along, the 2 pairs of parents were having a lovely double date. Aww, that's cute. They were far enough away that you couldn't see much more than their helmets, but you could tell that Mom was laughing about something with her head thrown back. That explains that. Huh, WayForward might be doing a remake of the original Clock Tower? What? Wait, really? Oh my god. Like, the original. The one that we never got in English, like officially? Oh, I hope they... Well, Wayfarer is like an English company, right? Well, the term revival is used, so I'm not entirely sure. Ooh. Oh my god. Well, it might either be a new one or... I don't know. But either way, it's nice to see Clock Tower getting some stuff, since it's been a very inactive IP for... God. What was the last one? Was it Clock Tower 3? I think? Elizabeth just wants a group of Shilohs going, yeah, okay, at everything she does. Seriously, she ticks me off so bad. You know, I kept saying I want to punch that one green-haired boy nerd with the glasses, but I think I would rather punch my sister, honestly. Make her nose bleed, then she'll think twice. That explains that. He muttered under his breath in frustration. Unfortunately, yes. Elizabeth cut in with a wryly amused snort. She gestured to your parents. Yeah, it's a shame that there was nothing past Clock Tower 3, because Clock Tower 3, I've watched a few videos on it, and I guess it wasn't very critically received when it first came out because of how different it was from the other Clock Towers, but I thought it looked like a very fun game. I really have to give it to our moms, zooming around this whole time while we've been running after them on foot. How are we gonna get them to stop? Yell at the top of your lungs. I'm a theater kid, watch this. She threw her hands up, waving them mockingly like she was trying to flag down a moving car on the side of the street. Are we gonna scream and jump until they notice us? Yes. Derek squinted at the 4 bikes, looking pained. He didn't like Elizabeth's sarcastic suggestion at all. Although you already did, technically. He let out a tired breath that sounded dangerously close to his sigh. George tilted his head in concern. Derek's shoulders drooped, visibly lowering Nicholas. He took another deep breath and shook his head. I can't do it. I can't give him to him. Elizabeth's eyebrows shot straight. Oh yeah, we can't be loud because Nicholas is asleep. Elizabeth's eyebrows shot straight up and her lips pinched together. She thought Derek was losing it. You know, Derek's a fast runner. I think he can catch up to them.
Now what?
Oh, what are we gonna do then? Derek flinched and bit his lip. Stop biting your lip! He met your eyes and then shrugged. Nothing. It's just one of those things. It happens. He fixed his expression into a cheerful grin, obviously trying to bring the mood up. At Elizabeth's disbelieving stare, he turned to face the sunset. Okay, I'm really glad that I chose for us to all go find the parents, because, we just wouldn't have Derek around at all, because he'd probably be just, looking for the parents all day, and I would feel bad if that happened. I'm off to bed. Have a good stream. Oh, have a good night, Mindy. Thank you for the raid, and have a good night. Sweet dreams. The disappearing light bathed his profile in a soft glow. It shone on Nicholas and the strain on Derek's arms. Don't worry. I'm gonna hold Nicholas until it's time to go home. The rest of you can keep having fun. Go wherever you want. George uncomfortably pulled at his shirt, stretching the fabric at its seams. I don't want to go. I want to help. He visibly felt bad about all of this being put on Derek. You got the impression that if George was a little bigger, that he'd offer to take a turn holding his baby brother instead.
No.
It's okay. I'll be fine. You really shouldn't waste all your time standing around with me. Less than who would help Elizabeth and Bunny around the boardwalk. You haven't been here before. You know this place and can make sure they don't get lost or don't miss the good parts. George turned to you and Elizabeth, but hesitated with his answer. It would help me to know we didn't send them off alone. They're guests, right? No, I don't wanna be on the boardwalk without you, Derek. We should all have fun. Okay. Thanks, George. Derek leaned closer to Elizabeth and whispered, I don't want George to miss out on the boardwalk because of Nicholas, or because of me. Please go take him and have some fun. Derek! Derek! I don't like you romantically, but I have big respect for you, Derek. Like, you deserve to have fun too, dude. Elizabeth didn't know Derek well, but had a clear enough picture to know it wasn't worth bothering to push him on this. You better not push him on it! Elizabeth and Derek made eye contact, and for all you could figure, they had some sort of eldest sibling telepathy going on. Derek is our dad. We can't lose him. Yeah, you guys better find your parents soon so Derek can come and have fun with us. This was the only way you could explain it, because rather than arguing, she agreed to work with Derek. I'll do it. Elizabeth then pressed her lips together and considered you. She snorted and then lightly flicked your nose. But I don't need Bunny with me. George isn't in pain. Wow! What the fuck? What the fuck, Elizabeth? Derek's brows creased, not expecting that. Right, I'll handle taking Derek out for some fun. Good. I thought you could do something useful. Shut up! I don't like the way you're saying that. Bunny. Derek's voice was strangled and hushed.
You don't have to.
I will do that! You deserve some fun too, bro! What about you? Why does it have to be just you? You could have suggested we take turns watching Nicholas. Derek shook his head, and you felt your stubbornness spike.
It doesn't matter.
It's fine. Someone's gotta be here for Nicholas, and it's easiest if I do it. That's all. You deserve to have fun too, though, Derek! Just because you're the oldest brother doesn't mean you should just not have fun. Well, that's too bad, because I won't go.
Yeah, sure.
George, show me something interesting. George gulped but nodded. His gaze bounced between Elizabeth and your standoff with Derek, and he wisely decided to take his leave. He led Elizabeth away, passing by assorted stalls. He seemed to have an idea of where he was going, so you figured he and your sister would probably have a good time. Derek shifted his weight from foot to foot, bouncing around like the floor was on fire. It got more panicked the more further away your sister and his brother got without you. Is Bob Chat supposed to be off? Oh, that can go back on. Sorry about that. Bunny, you have to go. You need to go have fun. You need to go have fun too, bro. I ain't gonna go have fun if you're not gonna go have fun. That ain't right. You need help more than I need fun. You're not getting rid of me. When the other two were completely out of sight, Derek stopped his frantic movement, having spent all his excess nervous energy. He met his gaze head-on, staring at the friend who simply couldn't help himself from being helpful. His face changed into something tense and small. He wondered how many times he did this, took on all the responsibilities so that others didn't have to be bothered. It didn't seem like he was called out on it much. Slowly he smiled. His grin was tender enough to be genuine. Well then, if we're gonna be here anyways, we don't have to make ourselves miserable. It's you and me, and, well, Nicholas time. Now you're talking.
Alright.
He lifted Nicholas higher and stood tall, ready to take on the world. Then his knees buckled and he blushed. Can we sit down somewhere? Yeah, that's probably a good idea. After spending all that time searching high and low, both of you needed a break. You both dragged yourself over to a nearby bench. It was thankfully empty and away from the crowd. Derek took a heavy seat and exhaled deeply. He kept Nicholas clutched close to his chest. It was a familiar motion, one that Derek must have done hundreds of times before. I don't know. I'm like stuck between a couple of options here. I want to say I get why Nicholas is so attached to you, but I also want to say you shouldn't take on everything yourself. I also want to say I admire how responsible he is. I think I'm gonna go with this one. I mean, you're probably there for him as much as his mom and dad. It'd be hard for Nicholas to not be as attached to you as he is.
Maybe?
Oh, maybe. He appeared surprised at your observation and unsure how to respond. He leaned his head back and whispered to the sky. I don't think that's such a bad thing. You weren't sure what to make of that. He wasn't lying, but looked too sad for it to be the full truth. Didn't say any more about it. After you both had settled, Derek carefully reached into his pocket. He struggled to dig around to find what he was searching for. Aha! He pulled out his special, snack baggie in triumph. It was still completely full, untouched from the morning. Oh damn. You've been saving this? Derek tried to pick out some morsels from the bag, but it was even harder to keep Nicholas from flopping over. Need some help there? Derek flushed at your offer and became self-conscious over the fact that you noticed his difficulty.
Thanks.
Despite his embarrassment, he passed the snacks to you. He took the bag and he steadied his hold on Nicholas. Oh, I just need the granola chunks. You can leave the other stuff in there. And just some of it would be good. Is that your favorite? Yeah, but no. You squinted at him in confusion. He laughed cheekily, having expected your reaction. No, I think I get what he means. Like when you're on a when you're on a trip, I don't know. Like my vibe is, I'm not like big on granola bars. But when I'm like on a trip, like a long trip, and I'm gonna be like exhausting myself, granola bars are the option to go with. It's my favorite snack in the bag, but that's not the reason I want it. The other stuff isn't for me. Bro, did you fill your bag with stuff your brothers wanted? And not get you stuff you wanted? I'm gonna punch you. There's a handful of the cereal Nicholas secretly likes. That way he can have something that's not just candies and cookies. I brought the walnuts for George in case we were out too long and he got hungry, and he dropped his gaze from you shyly.
Honestly,
The granola is also for you, you know, because maybe you get hungry too. Dude, oh, that was so considerate. Plunges in. Derek, I don't have a crush on you, but you're making my heart beat. Shut up. Stop being so considerate to me. You're making me fall for you, and I don't want to fall for you. That's 4 handfuls. That's so nice of you. Yeah, you beamed at his consideration. You're so considerate. You're such a nice dude. I hate you. He was such a nice person.
no worries.
It's nothing. The stone was bright at your encouragement. Yo, I hate this dude. He's so nice. Would you want to hold hands with a sporty normie, Elio? Would you really want to? I don't like him that way, but his consideration is just really sweet. God. Like, I don't know, when someone's like really nice to you in a way like this and so considerate and just thoughtful, like you know that like you're in his thoughts, and I'm just like, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. You're making me having second thoughts, Derek. Do you want any granola? You can take it. I mean, at least Derek would hold our hand. Yeah, unlike Shiloh. I could kill him. I don't know if I should accept it or not. Should I accept it or not? You know, I'll accept it. I'll accept it, okay? Derek beamed, more than happy to share. His planning had come in handy. You appreciated the snack. Yeah, if he was thinking about me, it'd be rude for me to chide him for not doing that. So I should at least accept a little bit, but if I was in this situation, I would just take a little bit, because he was considerate for me, but I wouldn't want to take too much, and I would want to leave him a good chunk of the share for him. Just because I don't want him to feel bad. I don't know how to word my feelings on that, but this is what I would do. He carefully fished out some chunks of granola. They were slightly sticky to the touch. He dropped them into Derek's outstretched hand.
Thank you.
He popped one of the tiny oat clusters into his mouth and started chewing. Yeah, I want to share my snacks. Yeah, have some of my snacks. Let's both share. I hope I got stuff that you like. Want some? You held out your baggie in a place where you could just pour it out for Derek if he said yes. His eyes lit up in amusement as he considered your snacks.
Definitely.
That'd be great. Sharing is caring. Stop making my heart pound. You tipped some snacks out of your bag for Derek, and he gratefully munched on them. Like, this scene is so cute. Both of you leisurely enjoyed your time. Man, I hate dating sim games where I'm like, I've clearly got someone else in mind to pursue in the game, but then I see another character that's being nice to me, and I'm like, I know realistically I wouldn't go for you. But God, you deserve better, Derek. You deserve someone better than me, Derek. The bench was comfortable, the food delicious, and the scenery was busy enough there wasn't always something to watch. I'm feeling romance gamer guilt. The munching and high-pitched snoring served as the only sounds between you for a while. You passed Derek the last cluster of granola. He had to really try to get it out of the bag around all the cereal and walnut chunks. He accepted it with great enthusiasm and then took his final bites. He swallowed, satisfied. He absent-mindedly patted Nicholas's head as he peered up and down the street. Something caught his eye and he lit up. You know, I was so focused before, I kind of forgot where we were. This is still the boardwalk. Yeah, that romantic moment sure did take us both out. I got dragged into a world where I actually considered marrying Derek for a moment. What a world. God, he really would be a good husband though. He would be like the kindest husband in the world, so considerate and nice. I gotta stop thinking about this. I'm gonna start falling for Derek. I can't fall for Derek. You're too nice, Derek. Oh ho ho, well hello there. It has been a while. Oh my god, Casa! How's it going? Oh my god, it's been forever. I think I haven't seen you since the new model reveal. How's it going? Yeah, we're playing Our Life today, and I'm on the boardwalk with Derek and having a romantic moment with him, and he's making me think twice about going after Baxter. He's so nice. I love Derek and stuff, but I could never fall for him. He's too nice. Yeah, that's the thing. He's too nice. I need some evil, sorry. Yeah, I need a gremlin in my life. I need someone... like, he's too nice. He's too nice, and I feel bad. I feel bad that I don't like him in that way, because he's just too nice. He deserves someone. And I feel bad that I can't be that someone. He was excited as he had been towards the beginning of the day.
Let's go.
Wanna walk around? There's a lot of interesting stuff here, even if we're only looking. Sure, I feel like strolling. Maybe I'd even get a good saunter on. Derek gave you a thumbs up and then at Nicholas. Can you help me move him to my back? That'll be easier for a long haul. No, I feel you, Elio. Yeah, this is the Otome, like, romance game curse. When one character whose route you're on, it just makes you feel for that. It's been great, and ooh, I feel you. Yeah, this is rough. I need to move on from this. I'm gonna start crying. Can you help me move him to my back? That'll be easier for a long haul. You stood up to help. It took both of you fumbling around, but with effort, you were able to get the little boy comfortably on Derek's back. Then you left the bench behind to explore the bustling waterfront park. Without consciously deciding to, you gravitated to the edge of the path closest to the sea. You studied the beautiful ocean, your breath almost taken away by how the waters sparkled under the last flickers of sunlight. The evening remained pleasantly warm despite the encroaching darkness. Your skin felt taut under your face paint. My unfortunate face paint that isn't my cosplay face paint that I wanted. The paint had started to crack after its long exposure to the elements. Oh god, it's gonna drive me insane. I have like sensory problems. Is it normal for Nicholas to fall asleep like this? Not the ocean sunset. It's so romantic! It's so romantic. I'm gonna cry. Kind of. Sometimes something is so exciting that Nicholas bounces off the walls just imagining it. By the time he actually gets there, he's already burned himself out. I'm pretty sure Nico didn't sleep at all last night because he knew today was gonna be boardwalk day. Aw, baby. Aw, that's cute. Yeah, that's cute. Derek grinned and pressed his cheek into Nico's. God, he's such a good brother. Your parents should give you a raise. Yeah, your parents should give you a raise. You're too good for this world, Derek. I don't think it works like that, but it would be cool if they did. Walking down the boardwalk was peaceful. The conversation was easy, with the occasional giggle. Other groups of people passed by. Couples, young friend groups, and families of children all bustled about. You caught slivers of conversation, ranging from the mundane to philosophical. Derek glanced at the faces around him and grinned to himself. Kind of feels like we're... I can't handle this. I can't handle this. I can't handle this. No! Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Don't. Oh no, I felt it. I'm gonna combust. I'm gonna just burst into pieces. I'm about to lose it. Kind of feels like we're parents and this is our kid. Derek, I'm sorry. Derek. I'm so sorry, Derek. I'm so sorry, Derek. You're not a gremlin. You're not a gremlin. You're not Baxter, Derek. You don't even have green hair like Cove. You're just a nice guy. And that's why this hurts. If you were just like another gremlin, I could have just punched you in the face and been okay with that. But you're too nice. He twisted around to show you Nicholas with the fuse, but no. I don't know what to say. Yeah, I'm just gonna blush, not sure how to respond, but will he take my blushes? Please don't misunderstand, Derek. We're just friends, okay? We're just friends. Just be friends. All you gotta do is just be friends. Time to say goodbye, just be friends. All we gotta do is just be friends, just be friends, just be friends. Derek's eyes widened at your shyness. It was contagious. He let out a nervous chuckle. I'm not gonna say you didn't deserve it for the bus thing, but don't remind me. You know, you're right. I'm reaping what I sowed. I played around with him a little bit earlier. I admitted it. I was playing around with his feelings. I played into his crush a little bit because I thought I was gonna be a little devious. Be just a little devious, a little spicy. Not like this. Not like this. If I knew this was how this conversation was gonna turn out, I would have never rested my head against his shoulder and made him blush. I mean, just like since we're a pair taking care of a little kid. He turned back, not being able to look at your face any longer. I'm so sorry, Derek. I've learned my lesson. I have definitely learned my lesson with this. I'm no longer gonna play with people's feelings. I'm just gonna devote myself to Baxter. As he led you down the boardwalk, you noticed a new skip in his step. Hey, I have an idea. Damn, I think you reaped what you sow. Yeah, I really did. What's it? No, you guys don't know. You guys don't know. I have said before that one of my ideal dating spots in the world is a Ferris wheel. Looks at it, and that's exactly why I like Ferris wheels. Because it makes me think of it. And please don't do this to me. My heart's in pieces. Let's ride the Ferris wheel. We've officially given up on getting our parents, and even Nico can do that. Next, he's gonna ask to go looking at the stars with me. I can't handle this. No. Yeah. Derek let out a... Are we gonna get a Ferris wheel, CG? I'm gonna lose it. Derek let out a whoop and turned around like it was a happy little dance. You laughed, charmed by his enthusiasm. If you kept that up, you're gonna wake the sleeping dragon there. Even if I did, we'd drag him to the wheel anyways. I'd rock him back to sleep. You smirked. Derek had an answer for everything. You both eagerly made your way through the crowd to get in line for the one ride that was an option for you. Derek cautiously waved. Oh, shit. I put on my shinny stuff. Derek cautiously waved past people, making sure no one accidentally bumped into Nicholas on the way. The line was short, and it didn't take long for you to start boarding the ride. You piled into the cabin, and Derek placed Nicholas in the corner of the metal bench. He sat next to him. Nicholas snuffled when he was jostled, but didn't wake. Derek wrapped his arm around him to Shakira him from falling forward. Nicholas unconsciously leaned his head over to rest on him. You rested on the bench across from them, eye to eye with Derek. It felt sturdy under you. Derek's grin widened as he tapped his toes together as he waited for the ride to start. Please don't tell me you're the king of Team Plasma. I will lose it. And it did. The carriage car rocked forward, slowly you ascend into the sky. So romantic. Please don't have it get late with the stars coming out. You could see the entire expanse on the boardwalk from the cabin. It was an amazing sight. From this height, the stalls and decorations looked like a magical land of toys. You glanced at Derek, curious if he was enjoying the view too. The sun had continued to sink as the Ferris wheel rose, and the light that reached inside the cabin through the little window was low. Sharp-edged shadows cut across Derek's body. He'd stopped shuffling his feet and switched to tapping a finger against the top of his knee in a jittery, uneven beat. With Nicholas still sound asleep, it felt like you were alone with Derek. He smiled at you in good humor across the way, but there was an undercurrent of that nervousness, and the shake of his hands had betrayed it. Oh God, please don't confess. In the small space, high in the air with no one else anywhere around, Derek took the chance to open up to you. So Bunny, wanna hear something kinda embarrassing about me? Yeah, I do. I don't even have a choice.
Okay.
Derek clasped and unclasped his hands like he was working over bread dough. The bashful whisper of his tone made his secret hard to catch. Well, this sort of thing is kind of like a dream or something that I've got. Please don't tell me you want to be a house husband. I'll wait for him to explain. I don't want to cut him off. Derek shifted shyly. His head went low, but his eyes glanced up at you. When Derek spoke again, it was in a tiny voice. I'm talking about having someone who is there when stuff like this happens. Your eyebrows shut up, but the rest of your body froze in place. Derek timidly sunk down in his seat. He brushed his little brother's bangs away from his closed eyes. It was a nervous, momentary distraction. Nicholas offered him some emotional support just by being there. I like thinking about the people I love. I really seriously do like doing stuff that makes them happy, and I don't want to have to stop doing any of that, even though it's annoying sometimes. Annoying for me and whoever tries to stick with me. He showed an apologetic grin for a moment before his intense earnestness returned. Derek tightened his hands into fists. Jesus, this is not leaving us an exit. It really isn't. I'm trapped in this maze.
I don't know.
I don't want to have to make that better by doing more for myself and less for them. What I really want is someone who's there for me, then it'd be even. I'm so sorry, Derek. I can be there for you as a friend. I don't know if you're like expecting us to be something more with this whole statement. But I just want to be friends. My family cares about me, obviously, but a lot of the time, that's the thing I need help with. With a laugh, Derek liberally tousled the hair of the beloved pain in his side who laid there, the youngest brother, remaining blissfully unaware of the trouble he caused. Bro, it can be platonic. Yeah, let's just be platonic friends. I'll be there for you, bro, but only platonically. No romance. The humor in his tone left Derek as quickly as it had appeared. He couldn't get away from how serious the topic was, or how much it truly meant to him. He's opening up so much about things that mean a lot to him. It's killing me. It'd be cool to have somebody who was on my side and who liked me because of me, not because they're family and are supposed to love me. For a single instant, his eyes met yours, and then he instantly focused on the world outside the scuffed, clouded window of the old Ferris wheel. You could see a lopsided grin reflected in the glass. I can't be that person! I'm so sorry, Derek. I can't be that person. I really can't. Please. Don't tell my bros I imagine some pretty dumb things. It's not dumb. That's normal and nice. Where's my... That's cool, but I can't be that for you. Can we just be platonic?
Thanks.
The foggy face you could make out in the window pane trembled. He wasn't ready to show it directly, but you were glad you still got a glimpse of it. He grasped the top of one knee and took in a deep breath through his nose. When he exhaled, he carefully allowed out a few more words for consideration. Hey. No! No! Please, I don't want to have this conversation. I don't want to have this conversation. No! No! Please! Stop! Stop! I'm already dead! Even I'm fucking fully stop! Hey, Bunny, is there somebody that you think... Please don't ask me that question. I don't think you want to hear my answer. But he never placed the last part.
Forget it.
Oh, I feel so bad. Never mind, forget it. I feel absolutely awful. Oh, no. It's alright, you can tell me later. I know exactly what you're gonna say, Derek, and I do not want to talk about it right now. Thanks, you're great. I am not great, I'm terrible. It was just this idea I've been kicking around, but I should probably think about it a little more. A lot more. Besides, Derek shrugged an arm and cocked his head down to the extra bit of company, who was still gently snoring.
Aha.
It's kinda awkward to talk about all this personal stuff with my baby brother right here, even if he is asleep. Yeah. God. He chuckled good-naturedly, moving his hand to scratch behind his ear. Maybe I can try again later. No, please don't. I'm sorry. Please don't. The back of his foot knocked against the lower wall of the outcropping metal seat on repeat. It sounded like the end of that conversation, but that didn't mean nothing else was on his mind. Derek was always considering something, and most of the time it was other people. Things someone else might have missed or forgotten weren't taken for granted by him. Thanks for helping with the snacks before. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, cause I need to hydrate after all these tears I'm spilling over this boy. Thank you. Oh. It's tough. It's tough being this attractive and cool and just so great of a person as I. People just keep falling in love with me. That piece of appreciation was given easily. The next, though, was far meeker.
And thanks for coming with me.
Anytime, Derek. This time, Derek shared his bright and bashful face directly with you. You could always count on him, that was a certainty. And Derek knew that the sentiment was mutual. But only platonic. You would look out for him whether he did it for himself or not, whether he asked you to or not, and whether he wanted you to or not. That was just as sure. Not much more was said before the ride came to its steady, inevitable end. He disembarked from the cabin with Nicholas securely in Derek's arms. He strolled from the exit to the nearest stall to ask the employee what time it was. 8 p.m. was quickly approaching. Bro, it's 9 p.m. for me. What are you talking about? We better go to the meetup place. Can you help me get Nico on my back again? No, let me take a turn. You're the one that keeps like pushing yourself, and you're the one that keeps doing things for other people. I mean, I can't be like your boyfriend or anything, but I can at least help carry him.
Oh.
Instinctively, Derek pulled back. He clung together. He clung tighter to his younger brother, keeping the weight of that burden squarely on himself. He waited, calm and stable. Ultimately, the tension in his face and the hesitancy in his heart faded, and he accepted your offer graciously. That'd actually be great. Thanks, Bunny. Yeah, you deserve to have a break. Derek shifted his grip on Nicholas before he propped the small boy over your shoulders. You tucked your elbows around Nico's knees. Nico, knees! and hunched over so he wouldn't slip off. Nicholas draped heavily on your back like a fluffy car-patterned cape. He really wasn't that heavy, but you could easily imagine how carrying that extra load would get tiresome after a while. Derek definitely needed a break. He needs like a vacation. Perfect. Together you wandered across the path. The people surrounding you were full of enthusiasm, bustling from ride to ride and store to store, but a quiet peace had settled between you and Derek. Okay, I'm thinking about stuff, right? And we were trying to find his parents earlier to give them Nicholas, and we weren't able to find them. Which makes me think no one here has a cell phone. I don't remember us talking about a meeting place with our parents. Did they just establish a meeting place without me knowing, or what? This worries me. Your day at the boardwalk was already coming to an end. The sky had gone completely dark by the time you reached the meeting spot. Okay, there is a meeting spot, thank God. But the world around you was still awash with light. Street lamps bore down on you while spotlights shot upwards to illuminate the biggest rides. You and Derek huddled at the side of the path. You wanted to stay out of the way of other visitors who were trickling off of the parking lot and the ones who were rushing the opposite way for a last-minute excursion on the boardwalk. You hoped the strangers enjoyed themselves, but for you and Derek, plus the sleepy Nicholas, there's nowhere to go. At least, not until you caught sight of your currently missing family members.
I figured.
We beat them. Good for us, we win. You used the break as an opportunity to readjust Nicholas. He started to slide a bit during the trip over. Since there were only 2 awake members of your group, you both wordlessly kept your eyes peeled. Every figure approaching in the distance was scrutinized and then disregarded as just another stranger. The process repeated. I'm surprised no person has come over to us and asked if we found our parents. If we're okay. 'Cause I would if I saw these kids just standing around like this. That process repeated for a few minutes, but eventually 2 shrouded forms coming down the path stepped under a light, and you immediately recognized them. George, Elizabeth! Yeah, where's our parents? For real. Derek jumped and waved his hands over his head. He was entirely free to draw attention to himself that way, thanks to you taking over piggybacking Nicholas. Even on the other end of the boardwalk, you could tell Elizabeth was smirking. When Derek's brother and your sister rejoined you, oh my god, she's got face paint on. You bitch. You are pretending that you didn't care about it. You're a tsundere. When Derek's brother and your sister rejoined you in front of the first stall, you were proven right. She definitely had a leering smirk.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cute that you're taking a turn with the precious baby. Please don't torture me. Derek barked out a laugh. Elizabeth's smile wasn't the only noticeable thing on her face, and even Derek wasn't polite enough to let her get away with it. Maybe, but that on your forehead? What's that on your forehead? Yeah. You went and got face paint? The eldest kid hadn't returned exactly the same way you'd left her. She now had a bright white golf ball emblazoned on her skin with non-toxic, water-soluble paint. Yeah, you really are a kid after all, Elizabeth. So much for not needing something like that, right? After just a small huff, Elizabeth plainly laid out her case. George and I talked a little about sports we liked. I told him I did golf. He suggested I get face paint of that. I did, and it was fun. Her chin was high, and she spoke with defiance. Elizabeth absolutely refused to be embarrassed by her change of mind. Oh, I'm gonna torture you. I'm gonna make fun of you for that. I'm sorry, Elizabeth, but... George stood at your sister's side and proudly took credit for the accomplishment. She didn't want to do it before, because she was just being an Elizabeth. I'm gonna borrow that. Elizabeth. That's great. Huh?
Nice try.
Better than being a Borgie. Borgie? I guess they got close while they were together, huh? Georgie and Elizabeth chuckled at the quips, apparently they had unique nicknames for one another now. It left Derek nearly speechless.
Wow.
Clearly, you and Derek weren't the only ones who went through a bonding experience this evening. That's so cute, Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm going with that one. I'm sorry, what? I can't hear that last word when you say it. How convenient. Lighthearted laughter drifted around the group. Whether you were divided up or all together, the Suarez and Lappy kids enjoyed each other's company. Your sister then exhaled calmly and followed it with a sage nod. I'll take Nicholas now. Oh! Whether Derek was gonna agree or disagree with the offer, you didn't know, but Elizabeth didn't give him the chance. She wasn't suggesting what he thought she was. Oh, does she feel bad for how she was earlier in the day? She better feel bad. She was ticking me off. We've got like 10 or 15 minutes left, so the two of you should use it.
What?
What? You want us to leave him with you? Uh-huh. Derek took a hesitant step back and turned his face away. His expression tensed the same way it had when he first realized Nico was going to be asleep for the rest of the trip. Nicholas is going to be mad if I'm not there. The resistance was a weak mumble, and his middle brother spoke with much more boldness. Nicholas isn't going to know, and what he doesn't know won't kill him. Please don't let me be alone with Derek after that conversation. George! Derek was at a loss on where that had come from. He hadn't expected it either. George was never the rule breaker. You must have missed even more than you thought during his time with Elizabeth. Okay, come on, Boric, live a little. I'll go with him, but like... I don't think that nickname works as well for me as it does for George. That's besides the point.
Hurry up.
See, even your... Don't say that! Even your darling bunny wants you to stop being such a goody two-shoes for a single second. Go have fun for Pete's sake. Yeah, hurry! You have to do stuff at the boardwalk while we're at the boardwalk. He shyly scuffed his sneaker on the ground with a doe-eyed expression. That was more expected from Nicholas. It was exceedingly rare for anyone to tell Derek what the plan was. He was used to coming up with all the ideas and taking charge. Derek glanced at you. It's impossible not to smile at him.
Alright.
Alright, I'll do it. Then we're doing it. Please don't look at the stars. Anything but that, I beg you, please don't look at the stars. Finally. There was a quick passing of the buck as Elizabeth took Nicholas into her hands. She carefully positioned his head against her shoulder and cradled his legs under her forearms. Derek found the hold satisfactory and entrusted his youngest brother to her the same way he'd let her borrow the responsibility of watching out for George. No more time was wasted. He shot off down the boardwalk one more time. The flow of traffic had shifted even more from when you'd started waiting, with everyone except for you moving towards the exit. You pushed against the tide into the heart of the park. Your feet and heart were beating hard. Derek shouted over the sound in a breathless, thrilled voice. Lines are all gonna be short this late, but I don't think we can do two. Which one do you want to do? Or we don't have to go on a ride at all. Yeah, let's hit the roller coaster. I want to see if I can get on it with how tall I am. To join his cheer betrayed how disappointed he must have really been to miss out on the roller coaster before. Yeah, I figured he wanted to go on the roller coaster. I'm not good at roller coasters. I get scared of them, but like, I had a feeling he wanted to go on it and felt bad about it, so... I already got on the Ferris wheel, which was what I wanted to get on. And I don't want to be alone with him in a Ferris wheel again. He'd put on a brave face before, and in the end had the chance to get his due reward. You'd make certain that he got on that ride. You and Derek sped straight to your goal. You couldn't help but tilt your head back every so often as the roller coaster loomed closer. As Derek had theorized, the line wasn't even half the length it was for most of the day. It only took a few minutes before you were on the platform and awaiting your ride. You jumped into the cart along with Derek and pulled the safety bar down in front of you. He was bursting with anticipation, so the restraints were especially useful. A clicking sound like the winding of a clock chimed out, and the ride began its gradual climb upward. You reached the summit, and after an appropriately stomach-tightening pause, it rolled over the edge. Cool summer air rushed over your face and whipped your hair as you descended at breakneck speed. Derek threw his arms into the air as you squealed in delight. Woo! You were jostled? You were jostled in your seat, vibrating with the... Vibrating with the motion of the coaster. Derek and you took turns knocking into the other around every bend. Bless you! Thank you, you too! I need to get some allergy pills really bad. When you came to a jarring stop back at the station, you lifted off the restraint together and made your exit down the other side of the ride. Derek ruffled his hands through his hair to straighten out his characteristic spikes. He was absolutely beaming on the way out. Derek stared at the sparkling... No! 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 Do not stare at the sparkling stars! Please! Derek stared at the sparkling stars beyond the glitz and clamor of the boardwalk. There was a peace between you that hadn't been there at any other moment during your trip.
Phew.
Hey. What's the issue? Him doing everything that I wanted to do on a date is the issue! Stop, please, we're already dead. Yeah, I need that copium real bad right now. His eyes had stolen the shine from the cosmos when he placed his gaze back on you. It was way too awkward to talk about this before with my little brother right there. But I just wanted to say I really like hanging out with you, Bunny. I like hanging out with you too. I love my brothers and parents a ton, and my other friends are great too, but we have to pick someone to team up with. I think about you. He shrugged his shoulders with a shy grin. Derek was someone you could count on for honesty, but sometimes it still surprised you what he was capable of. Thank you. I'm just gonna go with thank you. You're welcome. Getting the chance to spend some time with truly just the two of you was more than you could have hoped for. Yod, Elizabeth won. Despite taking an entire extra jaunt around the boardwalk, you still arrived at the entrance before your parents. However, there had been a shift in the group. Nicholas was awake, oh god. As soon as Derek noticed the small third figure standing by Elizabeth and George, he started like he was hit by a bolt. He made a break for his siblings, and you were right behind him. The motion was not exactly subtle, and it caught the attention of the boy in question. He let out a shout when he saw your rapid approach. Well, technically it wasn't your arrival that had an impact.
Derek's back!
Nicholas sprinted away from the meeting spot, not willing to wait a single second for the reunion. He crashed into Derek, wrapping his arms around his brother's thighs and sticking his head in the space between Derek's legs. Oof. He was powerful enough to knock Derek off balance. He had to swing his arms out to the side to stop his wobbling. Once he was sure he wasn't going to topple over, Derek bent down and scooped up his hanger-on. Seeing Derek carry Nicholas felt extremely familiar to this point, considering that had been the case for the entire afternoon. But Derek wasn't sick of it yet. He could handle it for a little longer. Derek nudged his head towards the other two members of your party, encouraging for you to come. Together, you and Derek walked the rest of the way to the boardwalk entrance. While Nicholas clung onto Derek the whole way, George waved you over.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Hey. And the moment you were in whispering distance, you were greeted by a hushed message from your own big sibling. Good job. She put a finger to her cheek and smirked. Derek slowly kneeled to let Nicholas get down. The little boy stood on his own 2 feet, and his 2 hands didn't detach. He only grasped the hem of Derek's jersey instead. While brushing his brother's messy hair, Derek glanced up at Nico's temporary babysitters. He stared at them questionably. What happened? Was the obvious unspoken question. It's only been up for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And he was really grumpy at first because you weren't there, but we got him talking about the dream adventure he had when he was sleeping to keep him busy, and that worked. It was really funny, and Nico had a good time too. George beamed with pride at the success, and you noticed how much closer he stood to Elizabeth. Oh, they are besties now. Your sister accepted his company just as welcomely. They were their own partners in crime for the day.
Right.
I'm basically positive that after about 5 seconds, he stopped telling us his actual dreams and was making it all up, but it was cute. Derek blinked at the two as if he had witnessed a miracle. It kind of was in a small way. Yeah, Elizabeth, get along with anyone? He was able to pass the mantle of responsibility, and everything turned out fine. However, Elizabeth and George wouldn't be replacing Derek anytime soon. Or likely ever. Nicholas may have behaved for a bit, but now that his biggest brother was here, the young lad wanted to be taken care of. His gaze dropped to the ground as he pulled at the end of Derek's shirt. Derek, my tummy hurts. I want an ice cream. No ice cream, Nico. That's not gonna help your stomach.
But
you can have some of my snacks. I saved you part of it. Derek's tone really sold the idea. He was full of appeal from the fact it was his snacks. He could hype up a product better than any of the employees running games on the boardwalk. I was gonna say about the ice cream. Nicholas brightened immediately. He clasped his own collar and leaned his head all the way back to look up at his brother's face where he stood against Derek's legs. He wasn't kept waiting long. Derek pulled the baggie out of his pocket and sifted through the mix of walnuts and cereals to pick out the treat especially chosen for Nico. That is still so sweet that he did that for Nico. Once he collected a small handful, he passed it over to Nicholas, carefully dropping the round cereal puffs. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Eat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. In Nicholas's tiny palm, the amount was almost overflowing. Nicholas gratefully received the offering. He shoved the whole thing into his face and ate directly out of his hand. Ugh! Oh, wait. Okay. The visual I had was of him eating it out of Derek's hand, but it's in his hands. I'm dumb. It reminded you of feeding oats to a pony, except in this case, Nicholas was both the feeder and being fed. Derek nodded in satisfaction and rolled the bag over in his palm. George, these are for you. He gathered the last wayward pieces of cereal and then offered the well-worn bag of nothing but walnuts to the middle child. Oh, look at his smile! It's been a long day today, and there's still the ride back. You should eat something. Derek, you're safe now, my child. Nicholas, I owe you my life. The oats, brother! George didn't argue with that. He gladly accepted his brother's thoughtful gesture.
thank you.
George plucked out just one from the pack, the hardiest looking nut in the bunch, and took a bite out of it. His gaze shifted towards Elizabeth, or Elizabeth as George knew her, as he swallowed his snack. Then he asked a question. Bro, they are besties now! They're like best friends. What happened? Do you want any?
Thanks.
You know what? I would. Thanks. Elizabeth was the third person who took a turn of opening up a hand to receive its snack. George shook a few of the nuts into her waiting palm. Derek, you and Bunny can have some too. Nicholas's fingers remained pushed against his mouth, but his distinct chomping stopped. He spoke muffled words filtered through a handful of half-crushed cereal.
Okay.
I can share too. He stuck his sticky palm up towards Derek's face instead of his own. The gesture had crumbs cascading down his shirt. Nico couldn't reach high enough to get it all the way to his brother's mouth. Aww. Derek shook with giggles and poked Nicholas's wrists to nudge the pile of soggy cereal away. He had to take a second to breathe before he could explain himself. I've got some of the cereal right here. That'll be from you. Thanks, Nicholas. I'm gonna eat it. That logic seemed sound to Nicholas, or maybe just seeing his brother smile made Nicholas smile too. Either way, he accepted that not taking most of the cereal counted as him sharing it. But he wasn't done. Nicholas turned around on a dime, arms still outstretched, and positioned his hand towards you. Amazingly, he wanted to share with someone other than Derek. Oh, really? You kiddos are all way too nice. I probably would kind of cringe a little bit at that, to be honest. You know he was trying to be nice, but it was just hilarious. But he's a kid, so I don't want to be like that to a kid, you know? Before Nicholas could start flinging bits of cereal at you in his eagerness to share, a warm voice boomed above the din of the busy boardwalk. Good evening, family and friends. It was Mr. Suarez, and not only him, you spotted all four of the parents weaving their way through the crowd. We're here! Sight of his mommy and daddy made Nicholas forget all about feeding you his pre-chewed snack. Thank God. He smashed the remaining cereal into his mouth so he could use both his hands to wave at his parents. Dad! Mom! Derek called back with equal excitement. The parents picked up the pace and came to gather around their children. Greetings were shared between adults and kids. Immediately, Ma noted the face paint that was now adorning your group. Hey yo, gay pride!
Wonderful.
Y'all look wonderful. So creative. Nicholas forced himself to swallow the mouthful. This was the moment he'd been waiting for. He sucked in a huge breath, pointed to his cheek, and cheered. Rainbow! Yes, rainbow. Gay. We love to see it.
That's good.
Why, you're right. It is a rainbow. It's beautiful, Nico. Nicholas giggled gleefully at the praise from the grown-ups. Mrs. Suarez then clasped her hand together and changed the topic. Well, everyone, I'm sorry you beat us here. Hopefully you weren't waiting too long.
This is gonna be great.
Nah, it was fine.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you waiting here for us. And how was the bike ride? You saw us. Yeah, we were trying to get you to hold on to Nicholas for us, but you didn't notice us.
Uh-huh.
We did. Elizabeth rolled her eyes towards Derek, but she didn't say anything else about it. It was lovely. Such a great way to explore the boardwalk. Returning them was a real hassle. That's why we got here late. Definitely worth it, though. It was. And did your children have a good day? Nicholas threw his hands in the air to answer with full force. God, Nicholas is so cute! Yeah! Derek softly patted his littlest brother's head. His voice was much quieter and distinctly relieved. Yeah. You, George, and Elizabeth nodded and offered your own points of agreement. It might not have gone as you had imagined, but none of you would consider it a waste of time. It was an experience worth having.
That's great.
I'm sure you made the most of what you had, but we better get going. It is very late. Perhaps we should pick dinner up on the way home? Absolutely. It's been hours since we left. Nicholas can always sleep in the car, since we won't be home before bedtime either way. All the kids, except for Nicholas, had their face go completely flat, and Elizabeth snorted. Mrs. Suarez didn't miss that instant reaction. She raised a brow. Derek straightened the bands on his wrist and broke the news to his mom. There was a glint of amusement in his eyes. Sorry, Mom, I don't think that's gonna happen. Nicholas remained oblivious to the discussion going on about him. He was leaping and bounding from board to board, completely refreshed. His mother frowned. It was obvious to her what Edgar cared. Yeah, he's gonna be awake all night. Unless you put on his favorite movie, like Finding Nemo. Mr. Suarez was unflustered. He showed some dignified optimism. I remember when I would look after one of my nephews, he would be unable to sleep unless you played Toy Story or Finding Nemo on the TV in his room. That was like the only way he could go to sleep.
Well then.
He'll be up to keep us company.
True.
We'll all be together. Those words reached the small ears of the youngest person there. Nicholas held onto Derek's abdomen, liking the sound of that promise. His older brother looked down at him warmly.
Good job, team.
Glad to have you back, Nico. And George, you're such a reliable bro. He wrapped one arm around Nicholas and reached over to pull his other brother into the hug. George welcomed and reciprocated the embrace. The Suarez trio snuggled together in a tight squeeze, and their flaking face paint rubbed off on each other. Your gaze wandered from the public display of affection and went to your older sister. Elizabeth was definitely not a hugger, but you whispered your own siblingly appreciation for her. No, I'm gonna hug her specifically because she doesn't want to get hugged. What do you mean? I'm that kind of cringe sibling. Thank you for being such a reliable sis, even though you weren't actually. Well, okay, you redeemed yourself at the end. I'll recognize that. She gave a smug flip of her hair. Forget it. I owed you one after your grand stunt for me on Daddy Day. Aww. Oh, Elizabeth.
Let's go.
That was all that needed to be said. Your completed party took their final steps on the boardwalk, heading straight towards the parking lot. Mrs. Suarez was leading the pack. Mom! Hey, Mom! Nicholas shouted and waved to get his mother's attention from behind while still using one hand to grip Derek. Guess what? Elizabeth carried me! She did. That's so considerate. Elizabeth?
Oh.
Elizabeth. Your moms were walking arm in arm, sharing hushed commentary with each other at distance from the group and tittering over what they heard. Elizabeth's a nice girl after all. She's just got layers of tsundere on top of them. You're so sweet. You know what? I'm gonna snicker along with the moms. Jeez. I feel that who carried Nicholas the most today should get the biggest say in what we have for dinner.
My thoughts exactly.
I'd second that. Sounds fair to me. Then we all agree. I guess that means Derek will be our dinner decider for the night.
Maybe.
Probably. Derek scratched at the rainbow on his cheek and chuckled airily. He shrugged without comment and simply continued to walk. His little brother stayed at Derek's sides, and they bumped along together. He strolled with Elizabeth while the parents surrounded the sets of siblings at the front and from behind. Derek's hands were full with Nicholas and George, but he snuck a fond glance over at you. And if his excitement had faded, please, no. The night was still young and bright, and you knew you could count on every person there. Despite being miles away from Sunset Bird, you felt right at home. Oh yay! We did it! We did it! I was unsure for a moment if we'd be able to get to the end of step 2 today. Oh my lord. My lordy lord. Yeah, I think I'll do like the character creation. What did it cost? Everything. It cost everything. I'm no longer gonna play around with people's feelings. Good game. Derek made a ferocious part. Oh, that killed me. Good lord. Okay, I'm gonna do the character creator just real fast, and then that's gonna be it for the night. Congrats on finishing the step. Thank you. Hammer ended before it could even start. That feeling. Yeah, I can't do that to him. I'm sorry, Derek. Oh wait. Oh, it doesn't immediately jump into character creation. Okay, hold on. I think I will end here actually. Then I thought I could just jump into the character creator real fast, but if I gotta read more stuff, I think it might be best to end here. We will start right at the end of step 2 and going into step 3 next time. Then. Thanks for the stream. No problem. Thank you for coming. Means a lot to me. Thank you. Thank you for stream. Sim, thank you for coming, you guys. It was very fun. But it's always fun with you guys.